Hi, my name is Elena Tercero, and I am here today to talk to you about entertainment and how that can help your business. So thank you for joining. I am coming to you from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I am a CPA and own my own accounting business. So hopefully this information will be helpful to you and your business in relations to entertainment. So when you think of entertainment, what do you think of? I'll give you a few minutes to type a few things in. Try and stand up a little bit straighter too, see if we can get this. So most of the time, you are doing entertainment. You're taking clients or potential clients out movies. Yes, very good. Hi Trisha, good to see you. Yes, that's a good example of movies, and I'll kind of talk about that when I'm going through more of the information. So what is the purpose of entertainment when you have a business? So of course you're going to have clients there. You should be present as well as a client, you or somebody that is in your business. So if you have employees, that you are having them take out to, yes, where to take clients. Like what do you think of when you think of entertainment? Dinner. Yes, movies. We have a really amazing opera here in town, so you could also take them to the opera, to the movies. Even going out to have a drink somewhere could be considered entertainment. So what is the purpose of entertainment? Why do you take your clients out to entertain them for whatever reason? One reason in particular you want to always think about is prospecting, because you could be taking somebody that is a current client with you to this event, and you want to connect with them, you want to build a relationship with them, yes. And you also are trying to build your clientele even more than what you already have right now. So you are prospecting, you're asking for referrals if they are a current client of yours, or you're going to bring somebody in that's new, that's maybe not a client of yours yet. Maybe they aren't working with you directly, but you're trying to give them information. You're trying to connect with them and see how, or to show them the value that you bring to them and what they're doing. So that's pretty much the main purpose of what entertainment is. So how does that benefit you and your business? Well, of course, because you're asking for referrals, the hope is that you will be bringing in more clients to bring in more stream of revenue for your business, more income for your business. So when it relates to taxes, what can you do, or what advantage do you have for entertainment? Because you can go out and you can spend the money on the clients, and then what? So you take them out to dinner, or you take them to the movies, or maybe to the opera, to a baseball game or a football game, something like that. You can then deduct half of the expenses for your business. So it becomes a business expense, and when you're looking at your tax return, that is a benefit for you because it is a deductible expense for your taxes, which is very helpful. Now, one thing to keep in mind, so most of the time it's 50%, especially if it's meals. If you are doing a community event and let's say your kids are in school and they're having something specific at the school, and it is an event, they're a 501c3, or they have a PTK, we call it PTK or a PTA, parent teacher kids, or whatever that organization is. It's a organization to help the school. You provide them to sort of promote your business. You provide them the food for whatever that event is happening or going on. Well, that expense is 100% deductible. So there's a difference in community events versus events where you're just taking maybe one or two people with you to an event, and you're building that relationship. So it's kind of like marketing, but it isn't, because you're providing a meal or some sort of entertainment in connection with that community service. But your name is getting out there. Your business is becoming more known within the community. So that's something that you definitely want to look at or think about when you're doing those sorts of donations. Now, what do you need to do for your taxes at the end of the year? What information do you need to keep? Now, in one of my previous Periscopes, I had talked about keeping your information audit free. So one of the tips that I gave to always remember is for transactions that are under $75, you do not have to keep the receipt. I know that for most business owners, and for even myself included, trying to keep track of all of those receipts for each transaction can get to be kind of a pain in the you-know-what. So the IRS has made it a little bit easier. $75 and under, you do not have to keep the original receipt. You do, however, need to keep a log of what happened at the event. So main information: when, why, where, and who. You want to remember those things when you are not keeping the receipt. Either way, when you're keeping the receipt or when you're not keeping the receipt, that information is important. So where do you save that? There, you can, if you have a day planner, you can put it in the day planner on that day. That can be, then you have the entire year right there in your, at your disposal. You just put it away, have your taxes done, or you do your taxes, you include that with a copy of the taxes so you don't lose it. Now, if it is, of course, if it is over $75, you do have to keep the receipt, and the same thing applies. You still do have to know that information. And that's only so that way if the IRS does question it, you have that information, but you have it available and at your fingertips, and no or very few questions can be raised when that happens. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you here. And we're just talking about entertainment as it relates to business. So hopefully, a few of the things we've already talked about, so hopefully you can catch most of it on the rebroadcast. But we're talking about keeping the documentation right now for the end of the year, or for the, if for some reason the IRS were to audit you as a business, what to keep and what not to keep. Other online apps that you can use. There's one called Expensify. If you want to get really fancy, you can use the Wave app, WAVE, or you can use FreshBooks. I prefer FreshBooks, but I personally, for my business, am invoicing people, so I really do like FreshBooks because of that feature that it has. So, which is the easiest? The easiest probably for something that you're doing, Catherine, is probably Expensify, and it has everything that you need in there: mileage, travel, entertainment. You can put in what income you're bringing in as well. I personally like FreshBooks because I can link my account. That's another really important tip to have, is to have a separate bank account for your business. So when you do that and you use these other accounting software, that's what Wave and FreshBooks are, they're accounting software, then you can link that checking account, or if it's a savings account, kind of hard to do that with it, but you can link them, and then all of your revenue comes in, all your income comes in, and then all of your expenses also come in, and then you can just classify them, depending on what type of an expense it is. Or if you have different types of income that you bring in, then you can do the same thing with it. So it makes it really, really easy in that regard to do that, and you don't necessarily have to do that. So the name of the there's two. So Wave is one, WAVE. That one, a few of my clients use that one, but then more of my clients use FreshBooks. That's the one that I recommend because I like it better, that it has great invoicing. I can do everything on my phone. So if I have to invoice the clients, like I went to a client's just a little while ago, I can get on my phone as I'm in the parking lot. I can put in, or even before I leave their office, I can log in, put in my hours. I can even, for me, most of the time I'm doing things by the hour. And so I can turn on the app, track my time, turn it off when I'm done, link it to the invoice. And that's a little, that's probably more than what most people need because most people aren't doing those sorts of things, but mine's service-based. So I really like that I can do that, and then I'm charging by the hour. So, just link it to the invoice. I have my clients already in there. It does keep track of the clients, so you don't necessarily have to invoice them through there, but you can import your clients in, and I'm pretty sure you can even import them, if you have an Excel file with them, their first name, last name, cell phone number, email address. I've got my clients' email addresses in there, so when I'm done or when I need to send the invoice, I just email them the invoice, and then they can pay me either with a check or they can pay me online. So I prefer FreshBooks. For those of you that do want to use that one, I do have the first 30 days there's a free trial. And it's like $15 a month. It's really not that bad. But I do have a link that can save 15%. So anybody that does want that and is interested, email me and then I will send out the link. Alena@littlelightaccounting.com is the email address. So for somebody that wants something like that, that can be used. So that way it saves you guys a little bit of money too. And I think that's just about it. Does anybody else have any other questions as it relates to entertainment? I do appreciate you guys jumping on and sharing your time with me. And I do have, you're welcome, Trish. Thank you. I do have also a tip guide that you can use. I wrote it down. I just have to find it now. So I have a 5 tips for businesses on for taxes. So the Expensify app, Catherine, that's not just for entertainment. It has a whole bunch of other categories that you can use. Yeah, so it does have a whole bunch of different ones that you can put in there. I went through it and kind of took some time with it, and it looks like it has everything in there. So you may not need anything more than that. I just don't know if you can include your bank account information to it. And there was no, I don't remember setting up a username and password. So, if you're kind of concerned about that, having it on there, and if it does link to your bank account, you want to be very careful with that kind of thing, with everything that goes on with the internet and security. And if you don't have the authentication there. FreshBooks does have authentication, so it logs me out every time. I have to log back in. So I know that there's that username and password component in there. So if you are looking for some more tips, you can sign up for my freemium. Let's see if I can get this, flip it around. And then, so it is bit.ly/LLA tax tips. So that way you guys can grab a screenshot of that, go check it out. I've got some other tax tips for businesses listed in there. Hopefully use those. I know that you can use those as well for your business. Most businesses, there's 171 tax deductions available for businesses, and it doesn't really matter what your business structure is. So that one has 3 of them listed, and I'll continue to go through them as I keep doing my periscopes. So hopefully we can, just keep going. You can keep learning, keep writing things down. It's really, really important for you to have this information, because at the end of the year, come tax time, you take all your information to your tax accountant, and they may or may not ask you all of these questions. And so you're not going to know what you can deduct if you haven't already been keeping track of it. And then if they do ask you those questions, then you have to go back and do the research and categorize everything, and then tax time becomes a major burden, really extremely stressful. So you definitely don't want to do that either. So I will see you tomorrow with another tax tip. If you do have any other questions, or maybe things that you think might be deductible on your taxes, let me know. You can send me a tweet as well. Same name, Elena Tercero. Send me questions, comments, other ideas you want to talk about, and we will talk to you tomorrow.